Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to figure out which car is going to be our next Project Supercar.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan. This is my office. Normally we're in my garage talking about supercars, DIY, working them, maintaining them, buying them, selling them. And of course today we are talking about which is going to be our next Project Supercars. I asked you guys to submit supercars that are interesting that would make a good project car. The budget was limited to $150,000 total. So that means all the money invested in the car, buying it, restoring it, putting parts into it, whatever. So it had to be under 150 total. And whoever submitted the car that we select, we're going to split the net profits with 1/3. So you're going to get 1/3 of the net profits. As of today, I've had well over 100 submissions, and let me tell you, some of these cars are pretty darn good. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to take the cars that I didn't choose. I'm gonna put them up on my website. So if you go to my website, normalguysupercar.com, select the supercars for sale link, and you can see all these cars will be listed for sale. So you can go click on them and find them and read about them and get more information on them. Let's go through some of these amazing cars that you guys submitted, talk about why or why not this makes a good car for what I'm trying to do, and why it might make a good car for one of you. Okay, YouTube, so we're looking at my computer screen. You've got me staring at you, or you staring at me, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I've got my webcam going. So I've got all of the cars I want to look at queued up along the top, and we're going to go through all these. So the first one is a 1982 308 GTSI, so that means it does have the fuel injection. How many miles? Doesn't say. 49,500, so not a bad price. It's one of the single mirror cars, so that's interesting. The thing about these 308s is I'm a little bit unfamiliar with what they all need. I know that you can do majors on these pretty easily because it's a transverse mounted engine, so the engine sits sideways instead of longitudinal, so you don't have to pull the engine to do belt service. The interior looks to be in pretty decent shape. All of these back then were manual transmissions because they didn't have any of the flapper paddles at this point. Yeah, all the buttons seem to be in good order. Engine's a little dirty, but I mean, it's a 82. You can expect that. So overall, this seems to be a pretty decent deal. It doesn't say the miles. I'm not sure how much that's gonna matter. Okay, here we go. A 85 Mondial convertible for 25 grand. Interesting. Where is this? This is in Colorado Springs. So the good news about that is if I was interested in this car, I could send my brother to go look at it if we weren't on lockdown. Does it look like there's some damage there? I can't tell. The bumper doesn't look aligned correctly. Oh boy, this thing needs a lot of love. I mean, the interior, oh yeah, this thing needs to be like fully restored. The problem with that is, let's say this thing needs a lot of work. So it's 25 grand. Let's say we fully restore it. It's gonna take over $10,000, I suspect. I don't even know what that picture is. So let's say we spend $10,000 on it. Let's say we can get them down to 20 grand. So we're in on it 30 grand. If we're lucky, we might be able to sell it for like 35 grand. So there's not a lot of wiggle room. It's got 60,000 miles. I'm not sure about this one. 2007 for a 599 for under 100 grand, and it's only got 8,000 miles. Something's up with this car. This should not be this cheap. I'm suspicious immediately. Something's gonna be wrong with this car. Let's find out what's up with this car. Interior looks gorgeous, bright red interior. It looks like it's kind of like a gunmetal silver or gray color. Yeah, this is a beautiful car. Something doesn't make sense here. Why is it this cheap? Do we have a VIN? We do. Let's search the VIN because something isn't right with this car. And there we go. Okay, so this is why anytime a car seems too good to be true, you gotta Google it and figure out what's going on. So we looked at the VIN in this car, and it's a flood car. So that's why it's under 100 grand. So I don't think I want to deal with a flood car, so that means it's gonna have a salvage title. Nope, we're not gonna deal with that car. All right, a 98 355 for 45 grand, 22,000 miles. Oh God, look at those wheels. Oh. The thing about cars like this that scare me is anytime you get someone that's got something that this flashy in the car, you kind of wonder what they did to it. Alright, so we clearly need new wheels, or at least we'd need the wheels repainted. I don't know. 45 grand. Alright, so after a quick Google on this car, it doesn't appear to have anything wrong with the VIN. It just has hideous wheels. So if the top's in okay shape and maybe it needs a major, it's 45 grand. You might be able to get them down a little bit. I mean, it's getting near the bottom of the barrel for 355 pricing. Maybe you could get them down to 40 grand. I mean, realistically, it's gonna, if it needs a major, it needs to be in the 30s for it to make sense, because once all's said and done, is it the F1? I think it's the F1 transmission too. So yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky to sell this car. 1985 first year Testarossa 2-door with the flying mirror, 100 grand. Okay, seems a bit underpriced. What's going on with this thing? Vehicle specs, blah blah blah. Oh, there's our problem. The car has not run since 1991 and it will need an engine out. The engine does turn free by hand. Effectively, this thing is a 100% certain to need a major. And it says it has some scratches on it, but otherwise, I mean, it's hard to tell from the picture how the paint's doing. It's 85, so it's got the weird Cinellock wheels that are strange. Wait, what's up with this? You guys see that around the driver's side rear wheel? Something's not right. What's up with the passenger rear wheel? It looks like maybe, I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, the interior's in good shape. Oh, the spare is on the car for some reason. Maybe we need to get new tires. I'm not sure. We'd have to do an engine out on this. Let's say you clean it up. So you're spending $5,000 to $10,000 getting it cleaned up at least. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting car. It could be worth 115, 120 if it's all cleaned up. How many miles are on it? Yeah, 186 miles. The downside is you're taking a pretty big risk since it hasn't run since 1991. That's a long time. The thing that scares me about that is it might not need just a major, it might need to have the engine torn apart. This 2010 Ferrari California, I'm pretty sure 7 or 8 of you sent to me, suggests that this is a car of interest because it is definitely underpriced at $60,000 for a 2010 California. It says it has a couple of dash lights on, tire sensor, a strut light, and an engine light. The strut light could be some sort of sensor on one of the shocks. The engine light could be anything, who knows. So if they could get you the codes and it looks like it's a simple engine light, like maybe it's an EVAP system or something stupid like that, then it's tempting. That's a very interesting car, certainly at that price. Rare for a 360 6-speed manual, only 2,300 worldwide, 60,000 bucks. Oh, well, there you go. Right off the bat, it's got a salvage title. And it's a Miami car. I get nervous about some of the southern Florida cars. Let's see. What's up with these pictures? They're terrible. Why does it have a California plate if it's in Miami? If it was a clean title, then it'd be a good deal. Salvage title? No. Not gonna deal with that. 85 Ferrari 308. 78,000. It's a bit much, though it does have the nice single tone paint. I do like that a lot better. Certainly a beautiful car. Ooh, oh, that red piping is really cool. That's a beautiful car. 34,000 miles. Engine looks really clean. Oh, we have all the tools and the jack. This one's in really good shape. So the thing about this one is I don't know that it's priced below market. I think it's actually priced close to market, and it's already kind of done. Yeah, it's in pretty good shape. A little bit of rust, but it's an older 85. They're even showing the paint thickness on this. Yeah, look at that. It's all 6.5 mils. Yeah, it's got some paint defects. This is, yeah, there's some rust under the paint, some bubbling. Yeah, the thing is I don't think there's much room there. So you buy it for 78.5. Maybe you can get them down to 74, unless you could get it to like 70, because I think it's maybe worth 80. That's as good as you're gonna do. So I don't think there's enough wiggle room there. A 2014 458 Italia challenge car. As cool as it would be to have a true challenge car, yeah, you gotta convert it to being street legal and deal with all that stuff. And you gotta remember, all these challenge cars were driven really hard. Like, their intent was to race, so all of them have been crashed and beat up and have damaged panels and stuff. So the funny thing is, these challenge cars aren't worth that much because it's not a normal car, it's a race car. It'd be fun, but I don't know if I want to deal with that. Ooh, a 2010 Ferrari 458. 35,000 miles in Salt Lake City. Bright silver color. It's got tinted taillights. Seats are a little boring, but it's got the standard seats, the sports seats. Are those snow tires? It's seriously sitting on snow tires in that picture. Why would it be on snow tires? I mean, I get it, it's in Salt Lake City, but the problem is it doesn't say anything about the car. So usage, personal or rental usage, that's fascinating. I mean, if you get it for like 120, that might be worth it. 128, I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit trickier to flip if it's got rental usage. A 2004 Lamborghini Gallardo. You know, is it Gallardo or Gallardo? I don't know. I think it's Gallardo, because wouldn't that be proper Spanish? I know it's an Italian car, but they name them after like the Spanish bullfighters. 38,864, so almost 40,000 miles, not too bad. I mean, it's a cool blue color. Pictures are terrible quality. It doesn't say enough about the car. Here's the problem with Lamborghinis. I don't know if that's a a good deal or not. Seems like it, but I think that's actually kind of competitive to what the E-Gear Gardos are going for. Might be something of interest for you guys. 308, 1980 GTB, 49 grand. Oh, look at that seat. It's a little bit too expensive considering the condition. 65,000 miles, probably needs a major. Straight and solid car, driven and enjoyed as is. Yeah, here you go. Making a deal candidate to spruce up as a rolling restoration project. 49 grand, clean it up, maybe it's worth 60. There could be, there's some money here. I think there's some money here. That's a tempting car. That really is. 2002 360 Modena with the F1 transmission, and something's up here. 30 grand? Anytime it's too good to be true, something's wrong here. It's got to have a salvage title or something. It should be 45,000 or more. So it doesn't even show the VIN. The leather's pulling on the dash and stuff. I'm sure it's got lots of weird normal problems and maybe it needs a major, but 1980 308 GTSI in California for 50 grand. Weird silver color. 52,000 miles. Terrifyingly bad pictures. Like, I hate that they don't have good pictures of these cars on these websites. A cell phone antenna thing. It looks like it's got like a 1980 cell phone antenna. Like a doctor driving this thing back in the day. Probably so cheap because it's not red. That's an interesting car. I don't know how much. That's the problem about these 308s. I don't know them well enough to know if that's going to be a good deal or not. Oh boy. 1982 Mondial 8 Coupe, $7,500. Running project and restoration. Timing belts and tensioners were replaced. All fluids, spark plugs, plug wires, valve cover gaskets were replaced. Top of the engine redone with black wrinkle paint. It's in the garage for years. It will not spark. Has spark. So it's probably fuel related. Yeah, it's probably all gummed up. Car will need body work. No external damage. Only driver's door has small 1-inch dent, but bottom of door edges, left wheel are oh, so it's got rust. It needs some refreshing. Something tells me that's not the picture of its current condition. I mean, I guess because it's not running. $7,500. So that's the problem with these bond deals. So let's say we buy it for 5 grand, restore it, get it perfect. It's still not worth that much. It would be kind of fun. It's also in Virginia. I have to go trailer it. 05 Ferrari F430 for 80 grand. Depending on miles and stuff. 30,000 miles? Nero Daytona. So it's the black. Nicely optioned. What does that mean? Upgraded factory headers. Oh, well, they took care of that thing. It's a California car. No haggle pricing. Okay, well, so that's a problem. So it's priced right at maybe what it could get. I mean, maybe you can get 85 for it. 06 F430. If you notice, it's pretty dark. It looks like it's black. 80 grand. Again, so that's the problem. That's same thing. I think that's about what these are going for. It is not a 7-speed. It is a 6-speed. So these people are dumb. So don't trust anything that they're going to say here. I don't like northern cars just because they risk rust. Yeah, see, there's not much wiggle room. If I have to spend a couple grand on it, it's only worth a couple grand more. It does have carbon. Here we go. 03 575. Nice. 87,000, 88,000. Is this salvage? That's a pretty good price. 20,000 miles? Alright, what's up with this car? It's the F1. I'm not sure how hard it's going to be to sell a silver 575. Got that badass V12 in there. All prices reflect $1,000 cash or trade in finance deal with dealers. So you have, so it's actually $1,000 more. How many owners in this car? Probably like 5 or 6. 6 previous owners. I think it's just gonna be hard to sell a silver 575, and it's maybe only worth 95. 2014 Ferrari FF for 146,000. I mean, these are cool as shit. I like them. I think selling one's gonna be hard, especially in white. I mean, who wants a white shooting brake Ferrari? Wow, that's a beautiful interior. I mean, it would be bad. Oh, it's got the panoramic window. That's a $30,000 option. These things are depreciating so fast. Unless you could turn around and sell it in a week. This would be a cool car to buy and own. I don't think it's a good car to flip. 2011 458 Italia. Shitty pictures. It's a Euro car. Because everything's the Celsius. 120 grand. Recently upgraded to a 48 GTB. That's why I'm selling my 458. You're going to regret that. 120. 38,000 miles. If they had better pictures, it'd be interesting. This one's definitely underpriced. Lowest price in the nation. There you go. Yeah. It's black, though. It's going to be hard to sell. That could be a good car for someone. I don't know how good it's going to be to flip, because it's probably only worth 125, 130 if you were patient. 94, 348 Spider. The Spider part scares me already. 30,000 miles. Service was done less than 1,000 miles ago. Included timing belt, cam seal, valve cover, gasket, spark plug wires, water pump, alternator belt, tensioner, bearing, vapor hose, and heater hose. Excellent condition. So it's already kind of restored. it's eligible for exclusionary extended warranty. It's in Dallas, so that's good. The 348 Spyders aren't worth as much as the Coupes or the Targas. Thing is, it's not going to need a restoration. It's kind of priced pretty close to what it's worth, so I don't think there's much wiggle room there. '08 Gallardo, 60 grand. What is up with that horrifying wrap? Ugh, this big ass wing, in case you didn't know. Lamborghini. Something's up with the dash. There's something wrong there. So again, the problem with this is I don't know. Well, it looks way better without the wrap. 60 grand. I don't know. That's kind of about what these things are worth. Oh, never mind. Rebuilt title. Nope. I'm gonna guess that this one's a salvage. 2010 Ferrari 458, 65 grand. Well, it's pretty obvious that this one has fire damage. So this is clearly from one of the early year wheelhouses that had the glue fires. This is one of the 6, I think, that got destroyed this way. That's what caused a recall, because the fender liner right here would catch fire. So here's the problem with this car is, oh, what's up with the leather? The leather on that driver's seat looks messed up. Something's not right there. God knows how much you're gonna have to pay to fix that. That's gonna be a lot of work. 65 grand. I bet you've got 40-50,000 in damage at least. I don't want to deal with that. 2000 Ferrari 360, and it's a manual transmission with 66,000 miles. Funny story about this. I actually contacted this guy and wanted to buy it because 66,000 miles, a little high in the miles, but it's manual transmission, 60 grand. It's priced a little bit below market. Certainly you could get 70 for it if it was clean. It's already sold. So I tried to get it. This one sold fast, as you can imagine. That sucks. Too bad it's gone. So those are all the cars that I did not choose. Actually, those are the cars that I liked but did not choose. There was quite a few more cars. Of the over 100 cars that were submitted, I'm going to say there was 90 different unique cars. I'm going to actually take the cars that I just showed you. I'm going to put them up on my website. So again, go to normalguysupercar.com, check out the supercars for sale, and you'll be able to find all these cars. I don't know if they're still going to be available or not by the time this video goes out. Click on the links on those pages and it'll take you to the actual places where these cars are found. If you reach out to me and say, hey, do you know more about this car? I'm going to be like, no. So you're probably wondering, what car did I choose? Well, believe it or not, we chose a car, we made a deal, the offer was accepted, and I already bought it. We have the car. It's in my garage right now. I already bought the car. You're going to have to stay tuned for the next video. We're going to show you the car. We're going to show you how awesome it is. We got a good deal. It's not a crazy deal. It's not a screaming deal, but it's a really good deal. Definitely some money to make here. Best of all, it's a really good car that's going to make one of you really happy. I'm very pleased with this car. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned. You're going to want to see that. It's going to be awesome. So we've got a lot of cool car stuff coming your way. We're going to be restoring this car. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be sweet.